Coming to you live in a New Canaan High School gym, Ian, Nicholas, Maddox, Underwood, and the rest of the NCTV crew bringing you this live NCHS Girls Basketball action. The 3-2 New Canaan Rams are on a 2-game win streak, looking up at the 3. Bassick has yet to play a game this season, and we're going to bring you the live coverage of their season debut. Let's go to our PA man, Bill Brown, who's going to bring us the starting lineups and the national anthem. We'll see you right after that.
For the playing of the Star Spangled Banner.
Back for the national anthem here, Ian, Nicholas, Maddox, Underwood, and the rest of the NCTV crew. Now, as I mentioned just a few moments ago, this is Bassick's first game of the season, so they are 0-0, coming from Bridgeport, up a little bit up the state. That is where Bassick High School is, and the Bridgeport Public High Schools, they said no to a basketball season earlier, actually a month ago pretty much, in late January. Bridgeport Central, Harding, and Bassick, they didn't think they were going to have basketball seasons, but now fast forward to where we are right now, and they were granted permission to have their seasons. FCAC Commissioner Dave Schultz let their season happen, but Maddox, they're going to come out the gate rusty probably. They probably aren't in game shape really whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of unknowns heading into this game, and I'm just excited to see what happens.
Yes, definitely very exciting. Emma Gibbons for New Canaan and Cache Rogers at the tip, and Bassick will start this game off and start their season off up against the 3-2 New Canaan Rams, and Cache Rogers wins the tip and scores.
Bassick's wasting no time on offense, attacking the hoop.
New Canaan coming off a big-time win up against Brian McMahon on senior night on Monday, as the ball will be Bassick's Cameron Murphy, who is starting tonight. Couldn't get that one off the New Canaan miss.
Bassick looks to be starting in a 2-3 zone against the Rams.
Bassick's starting 5 will include Emery Davidson, Tiani Perez, Samaya Wolcott, Cache Rogers, and Nate Campbell. 2 seniors, 2 sophomores, and a sharpshooter in Cache Rogers. She is doing it all in the early going.
I mean, I think it's safe to assume Cache Rogers is going to be their best player. She's the tallest girl on this team, and she's running the point position, and she's playing the bottom of that 2-3 zone.
No rust at all from Bassick, as Gibbons with the turnaround shot, getting New Canaan their first bucket just under a minute in.
Yeah, well played against the 2-3 there.
Davidson brings it up here, the 5'4" senior guard, working on Cameron Murphy. She falls to the floor. The ball loose and a jump ball created.
No,
actually a travel.
Yeah, she rolled over her back when she was on the ground with the ball.
Good eyes there. Turnover from Emery Davidson. New Canaan starting Cameron Murphy tonight, who usually comes off the bench for them, their senior captain. She had a big night on senior night, third on the team in scoring with 10 points, as Gibbons gets it out to the leading scorer from Monday, Quinn McKiernan, missing on the floater, and rebound for Megan Driscoll, the junior guard.
Yeah, it looks like Bassick ditched the 2-3 zone, is just playing man-to-man right now.
Murphy gets it to go with a little bit of contact off the assist from her fellow senior, Emma Gibbons.
New Canaan already into their press.
And the score should be 5-4 Bassick, not 7-2 Bassick. That will probably be changed in a moment, as New Canaan now with 2 field goals in the early going here.
First a turnover there.
Score is corrected. Turnover created, as you mentioned, as Murphy finds a wide open cutting Quinn McKiernan, and she can't capitalize. Rebound Gibbons, and she has been active down low early on. Timeout called by first-year head coach Roderick of the Bassick Lions, with his team now trailing 1 after jumping out to that 5-0 start.
Yeah, I mean, we really had no idea what we were getting out of this Bassick squad, and it's really just been number 11, Cache Rogers, off the start, driving in quickly with the layup and hitting a deep 3.
So Bassick currently scheduled to play 7 games this season. A lot of changes for them. Really, over the last decade, it has been a very interesting ride for this Bassick Lions squad. From 2009 to 2015, this was frankly one of the least successful basketball teams in the state of Connecticut, losing all but 3 games over a 6-year span. But ever since they've been able to turn it around, they return all but 2 of their players from last year's roster, a roster that went 13-8, playing mostly FCAC and SWC teams as an independent team.
New Canaan now in the press. Let's see how Bassick handles it.
They inbound the Rogers. She's swarmed by McKiernan and Driscoll, and a foul called on New Canaan.
And that's exactly what New Canaan wants to do. They're going to let Bassick get the ball in, and they want to let it get into that corner, and that's when they're going to trap with 2 girls.
That definitely worked for the Rams in the second half of their Monday win over Brian McMahon, as Perez back to inbound. Woolcock. Flying high over the head of Emery Davidson, and a Bassick turnover.
And this is what we've seen a lot of the last 2 games. It's been this press that's caused a lot of turnovers. Let's see if New Canaan capitalizes.
New Canaan with back-to-back 30-plus point victories over Wilton last Saturday, and then Brian McMahon on senior night Monday. Back out to Cameron Murphy. Moves to her right, trying to find Gibbons, stolen by Davidson. Speeding away in transition, working on Driscoll and getting the and one bucket to go down. Showing off the pure speed there, Maddox, was the senior guard, Emery Davidson.
Yeah, did it on the defensive end and went coast to coast and laid it in on the offensive end.
She got the steal, she got the score, and the potential for the three-point play. Bassick goes back up by 1 as they are coming out hot off the gates, out of the gates. She gets it to go down, and three-point play converted for Davidson. Driscoll walks it up here.
Bassick back in the 2-3 zone.
Swinging the ball around the perimeter. Here's Plosker to her left. Gibbons on the perimeter. Murphy takes the shot from the elbow, misses off the backboard, but she gets her own miss. McKiernan pulls up and comes up short. Rebound Rogers.
Yeah, Rogers is playing the center position, but she's very comfortable with the ball. She's going to take that shot.
And will she make it? No, she won't, but another close attempt. This has got to be a challenge for Kim Palmer and her squad. This game was just put on the schedule yesterday after their game against Danbury, which was supposed to happen last night. Murphy missing inside. That game was postponed indefinitely due to a positive COVID test at Danbury High. Yeah. Natalie Plosker ripping the ball away from Woolcock as she's on the ground in some pain, but pops back up.
Yeah, they got some numbers here.
Plosker gives it up to McKiernan. New Canaan still down 2, 8-6. Gibbons to her right, missing to the right. gets the miss, and great defense down low from Rogers.
New Canaan's got a lot of really good looks. They just haven't finished.
Looking to go coast to coast again. No foul called as she hits the floor and misses.
Yeah, I think she wanted a foul there.
Driscoll on the attack. Can't get past Nate Campbell, number 14. Open is Gibbons, but a great shot contest will provide the miss, but then Gibbons provides the bucket on the putback.
Yeah, that score is going to allow the Rams to set up in their press, but they elect not to.
Tied ball game for the first time all evening, as we are now halfway through the opening frame. 8-8 your score. Bassick looking to pick up their first win on the season in their first game of the season. As usual, starter Lucia Cravato looks to check in. Rogers gets to her right, and she's pushed by McKiernan. New Canaan's third foul already compared to Bassick's 0.
Yeah, Bassick doesn't look too disciplined in their 2-3 zone, so if they keep attacking the middle, I think that's going to be wide open all day for the Rams.
That foul was on Quinn McKiernan. That's her second.
The freshman, Josie Narcisse, will look to check in a moment. And mass break will come into play here. 3:48 left to go here in the opening quarter. And referees notifying the Bassick crew that mass breaks are supposed to be used as breaks, period, and not just as instructional timeouts, as he put it. So Cravato checks back in, so does the sophomore, Maddie Donaldson, coming in for her first time today.
I think New Canaan really likes Lucia Cravato at the bottom of that 2-3 zone, so I wouldn't be surprised if they switch to that.
A big fan of Coach Palmer's, who hasn't been providing necessarily a ton of points to this team, but she does pretty much everything else, and as you mentioned, a force down low that can generate turnovers and swat shots away. The sophomore, as Bassick will inbound, Emery Davidson, providing the and one play earlier in the quarter. And Rogers, as you mentioned, she plays really every position this team needs for her to do early on. Works to her right, puts up the shot, and misses in traffic. She gets the own miss off the ground, though.
Yeah, she's going to pull it back out, look for another dribble drive, and there she goes.
On the move, another miss. Good defense from Donaldson. Rogers almost stripping it away from Plosker as she moves past the timeline.
Yeah, she's going
Donaldson
to walk.
travels.
She switched her pivot foot there. New Canaan getting back into that press, looks like.
Former 8th-year head coach of this Bassick team, Coach Keith Pierce, retiring this offseason and allowing Coach Roderick to take over. Pierce really leading the revitalization of this program, which still looks strong in the early going of this opening quarter. Rogers on another drive, and she is fearless down low, getting it to go down.
Yeah, I'm surprised New Canaan hasn't gone to a 2-3 zone because it looks pretty clear that Cache Rogers is just going to go with the dribble drive, so that's going to be a lot harder for her against a 2-3.
Donaldson to Plosker. Misfiring, looking for sophomore teammate Lucia Cravato. Turnover, New Canaan.
Yeah, Rogers is going to try to get to her right. Let's see if Plosker tries to take it away and force it to her left or
Rogers with 7 of Bassick's 10, including a deep three-pointer. Davidson in a corner, works to her left. And an excellent finish from Emery Davidson. Timeout New Canaan, and they need it after those smooth moves.
Yeah, I think New Canaan's now going to switch up their defense because if they keep going man-to-man, they're just going to continue to drive past them unless they get more disciplined or have a slide ready to go.
Definitely. It's been Davidson and it has been Rogers who have led the charge. They've scored all of Bassick's 12 points, and they own a 4-point lead with 2:22 left to go in the first quarter. Bassick looking to shock some people as a new addition of the FCAC. They used to be an FCAC team back in the day alongside Harding. Now both of them independent teams. And back in the FCAC for this COVID-shortened season. Every team will make the FCAC tournament. And Bassick playing a red-hot New Canaan team looking to pick up their 3rd straight win. And Bassick is looking to spoil that. And so far, Maddox, they have really shown that they have some star players who can get it done.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a lot of Cache Rogers and Emery Davidson, and they're going to be the main 2 players that are going to go for dribble drives and take some deep shots. So let's see if New Canaan can stop that.
It's like
Driscoll will bring it up.
And Donaldson on the wing finds Cameron Murphy, and she gets the roll.
Yeah, New Canaan's gotten a lot of these good looks right in the middle of the paint, and now they just got to finish. Emory Davidson pushes tempo.
Puts up the shot, missing, gets her own rebound, and turning it over. Out of bounds.
Yeah, I think this Bassick team's going to push a lot of tempo here and really try to get the numbers advantage after a turnover.
Back to a 2-point game. New Canaan still trailing. Finding Murphy again on the elbow. Now over to Driscoll. Wide open Natalie Plosker. Goes inside and gets hacked by Josie Narcisse. Already Bassick's first foul. And Natalie Plosker will head to the line for the first time tonight. New Canaan's first trip to the line, period, in this game. Plosker with 4 points in their win against Brian McMahon on Monday, a player who's done a little bit of everything as a star ball handler for this team so far this season. She makes her first. Excuse me, she actually had 11 points in the win up against McMahon. Donaldson off her head almost had the offensive put back, but then a travel.
Yeah, New Canaan's going to set up the press here, and I like this move from Coach Kim Palmer.
Let's see if it plays, if it pans out.
Yeah, they trap right there in that corner. That's what they always do.
Off of Driscoll.
No, it's actually going to be off of
Rogers.
Driscoll actually hit it off of Rogers' knee.
Great play from the junior. Murphy in the Driscoll. Now back in the corner to Murphy. Cravado gets it to go over to Bassick defenders. Her first bucket. Inbound swiped away, but called a foul on Cameron Murphy. Overly aggressive, trying to work against Campbell.
Yeah, I think if New Canaan continues to swing it around the perimeter, that pass into the paint's going to be wide open every day.
New Canaan retakes the lead, 13-12. A minute 30 left to go in the first quarter, and what has turned out to be a highly competitive game.
New Canaan's gone back to their man-to-man defense.
This game was originally supposed to be played last Thursday, the 18th, but postponed because Bassick couldn't log enough practices to play New Canaan. Woolcock to her right, guarded on the perimeter by the big Cravado. Now resetting, getting it back out to Davidson. Danson with Megan Driscoll. And a 3-second violation called against the Lions.
Yeah, a lot of standing around on the off-ball players at Bassick, kind of just letting Rogers and Davidson create.
Letting the stars shine. Don't get in their way.
I mean, you can't blame them.
It's worked so far. Donaldson in the corner. Driscoll swinging it over to Plosker.
Yeah, they're going to look for Murphy in that high post.
Donaldson has the open look for a moment. Good hesitation. Pulls up. Too strong. Rebound. Cache Rogers. Swinging it up to her star teammate. Davidson working to her right. Up and under is in for Emory Davidson.
I really like how these Bassick players are attacking the hoop and they're not shying away from contact.
The two-woman game of Rogers and Davidson is working for the Lions as Cravado loses it to Rogers.
Rogers going to push in transition.
And she is able to get it to go down over Megan Driscoll.
I think the Rams wanted a charge there by Rogers. Driscoll tried to take it, but I don't think she was set in time.
Charging towards the hoop, but no charge called. Great backdoor cut from Murphy. Can't get it to go down. And Rogers swatting the shot of Cravado down low. But then she's called for the travel, and it will stay in New Canaan possession.
Yeah, Rogers didn't like that call. She kind of felt like Cravado reached in there.
Beyonce Philogene checks into the game for the first time tonight for the Lions, and checking out is Nate Campbell. 5 seconds to work with. 5 seconds left in the quarter. Inbound to Cravado. She misses. Deep three. Driscoll open three. Cannot connect. And that's the end of one here from New Canaan High. Bassick looking to shock some people, Maddox, and they have a 3-point lead to show for it, 16-13.
Yeah, the last game we did was 16-9 at the half, and this game's already 16-13 at the end of the first quarter. So Bassick plays really high tempo, which is going to make this a high-scoring game.
Definitely, and especially if Cache Rogers and Emory Davidson can continue to play the way they have. Rogers, she hit that three, but really it has been on the dribble drives inside where they have been fearless attacking the hoop. It doesn't matter how many defenders on them. They're going to try to make it go down. Yeah,
they don't waste any time going from defense to offense, and they really try to push in transition and take advantage of numbers in their favor.
Yep, 16-13. The odds have been in Bassick's favor so far in this one. Ian Nicholas, Maddox, Underwood, and the rest of the NCTV crew providing you with this live action. New Canaan, again, was supposed to play Danbury yesterday at 5 o'clock. That game was canceled just a few hours before tip-off, and Maddox, that certainly would have been an exciting game between a Danbury team that is extremely talented but has been underachieving so far this year.
Yeah, Danbury, don't get it twisted. They're 2-3, but they've played a very tough FCX schedule, losing to Staples by just 1 point. Staples is 5-0, losing to Ridgefield by just 5 points. Ridgefield's 4-0. So I'm excited to see when Danbury and New Canaan meet later on in the season, hopefully.
Hopefully that game does happen. Currently it is not scheduled, but there is a period in the season where games can be made up. New Canaan looking to get to 12 games. None of their games have been canceled or postponed really so far outside of this one, which was originally supposed to be played on the 18th. Cravado off the feed from Donaldson, getting the roll off the front iron.
Yeah, a lot of confusion there on the Bassick defense. It looked like some girls were playing a 3-2 and others were just playing a 2-3.
1 point Bassick lead as Davidson doesn't know where it goes. It went into the hands of Megan Driscoll. Back to her here. Quinn McKiernan checking back in for the Rams, their senior captain. Driscoll with the floater. Off the front rim, rebound Rogers.
Yeah, here comes Rogers. She's not going to waste any time.
Not at all. Crossing over to her right, splitting Plosker, and
one.
Yep. No, actually, it's going. Yeah, it is going to be an and one.
Yeah.
A little confusion from the Canaan bench.
Yeah.
Cache Rogers is nothing but cash in the early going.
Oh, Ian.
You knew I had to use that.
I was waiting on it.
I made it through a quarter and 36 seconds without it.
We're just 8.5. We're 8.5 minutes in, and Quinn McKiernan's already got 3 fouls. You got to keep an eye on that for the rest of the game.
New Canaan's best overall player, Quinn McKiernan, in early foul trouble. As Olivia West will check in for her, and she is tackled trying to grab that rebound, and it's actually going to go to Bassick.
Yeah, Bassick got the possession error there on the jump ball. Cache Rogers to inbound.
3-point lead for Bassick. And 1 play from Cache Rogers.
Buchanan sets up in the 2-3 to defend the inbound pass.
Rogers into Davidson. Over to Woolcock in the corner. She's doubled.
Oh, she traveled there.
And a bad pass to boot. Bad play from the 5'7" sophomore. Quinn McKiernan again leading the team with 12 points in their win against McMahon on Monday. And she sits on the bench with the early foul problems. Lucia Cravado starting to warm up. Wide open off the feed from Donaldson.
Yeah, New Canaan's just going to keep doing that if Bassick doesn't stop it. They're going to take that all day.
Back to a 1-point game. 6:58 left to go in the first half. Rogers walking it up on Plosker. And the deep three from a volleyball line just off the front rim. Rebound goes to Davidson, but they're going to say she stepped out of bounds. Turnover, Bassick.
Yeah, Rogers has no fear when shooting the ball.
Lineup for New Canaan features Megan Driscoll, Natalie Plosker, Maddie Donaldson, Lucia Cravado, and the senior Olivia West. Open three for Megan Driscoll off to the left, and the putback from Donaldson draws the foul.
Yeah, Bassick just looks confused on defense, not really sure what they're doing.
The sophomore transfer, Maddie Donaldson, heads to the line for the first time tonight. Described by Coach Kim Palmer quite simply as a baller. And she is making some plays in the early going with a couple wide open feeds to Lucia Cravado. She makes her first. And Bassick is going to elect to call their second timeout. Back to a tied game off a Donaldson free throw. And one of the early storylines in this one, Maddox, is the simple fact that Quinn McKiernan's in foul trouble.
Yeah, 3 fouls, picked up 2 in the first quarter and 1 just 30 seconds into the second quarter.
And how do you think that's going to affect Coach Kim Palmer's plans for the rest of this ball game?
You know, obviously a lot more underclassmen are going to have to get involved in their bench. They're going to have to go deeper into their bench this game.
Definitely, New Canaan's got plenty of guard depth. They have a couple bigs they can trust, but the question is, who do you think they turn over wings? It's probably been Maddie Donaldson early on.
Yeah, I was going to say Donaldson's probably going to get a lot more minutes than she's accustomed to.
And she's already had a couple really nice assists to Lucia Cravado. They've just been able to find her wide open under the hoop.
Yeah, they've moved the ball really well against the 2-3, and they're going to continue to attack the paint.
Tied ball game, 18-18. Bassick, their first game of the season, as Donaldson will get her second free throw following the Lions' timeout. 6:38 left to go in the second quarter. Donaldson missing off the front rim, and the rebound will go to Rogers as she looks for the foul, and instead it's called for the travel.
Yeah, Rogers is in disbelief there. She wanted an over-the-back foul on Olivia West.
Drawing the attention to herself, the ref picked up on it, and it backfires on the superstar senior.
Yeah, it looks like the ref just issued a warning on Coach Roderick.
And that is exactly right, Maddox, the referee going over to the PA announcer, Bill Brown, to clarify the call. A formal warning on Coach Roderick. And Donaldson will inbound with 6:36 left to go.
Yeah, they're going to try to get Lucia Cravado coming right down the lane here.
You drew it up perfectly. And Donaldson missing one and getting the second one to go down. She's stepping up.
Coach Palmer wanted them to set up in the press there, but Bassick moving a little too fast for them. There goes Davidson.
Really great moves to get to the hoop and then losing the ball out of the bounds off of New Canaan. Bassick ball.
Yeah, Bassick's play style. They're going to get a lot of free throw attempts if they continue to attack the hoop like this.
Rogers swiped away by Plosker. Good lead pass to Driscoll. Working up against Woolcock. Can't get the bounce. Rebound Rogers. And the foul will go against Maddie Donaldson.
Yeah, tough lefty layup try there by Driscoll. Going to get a reach-in foul there on Lucia Cravado.
That's her first.
It's actually going to go on Donaldson, her first, and that's a player that, especially with Quinn McKiernan in the early foul trouble, they cannot afford to rack up more fouls. And what a great handle Davidson has. Even though she didn't score on that last dribble drive attempt, she really can navigate through traffic. Woolcock, deep two from the wing. Offline, rebound Plosker. As New Canaan slowing it down and trying to reset the tempo up two. Open three, Megan Driscoll off to the left. Rebound Bassick goes to Rogers, who has been a beast on the boards in this first half. Rogers sizing up Plosker. Moving to her right, hop step, fadeaway. Hitting the floor, no foul, no shot made.
Yeah, that's exactly why I thought Kim Palmer would switch to the 2-3 zone. If you have Lucia Cravado in the middle, it's going to make it a lot harder for Rogers to get those layups.
Driscoll out to West, airballing on the baseline jumper, and then going out of bounds on the rebound attempt was Davidson. Coach Kim Palmer wants a timeout, and she will get it. Her second of the game. Her team up 20-18. Ian Nicholas, Maddox, Underwood, and the rest of the NCTV crew bringing you this live action from a game which, well, we didn't know what we were going to get, Maddox, but right now we've got a New Canaan team playing well, even without Quinn McKiernan. A couple of their younger players stepping up, and a Bassick team that has their two-star players from start to finish right now playing like stars.
Yeah, I mean, Bassick is forcing New Canaan to play kind of uncomfortably. New Canaan kind of likes some more low-scoring games where they can kind of control the tempo, and Bassick's making them speed up and score a lot of points.
Yeah, high-scoring affair, 20-18. New Canaan with a 2-point lead in a game that has truly been as back and forth as it gets. New Canaan keeping the same lineup of the floor with Donaldson, West, Driscoll, Cravado, and Plosker. And New Canaan will inbound. In the Plosker kick out, Cravado, pull-up shot, airmailing it, rebound Donaldson. Driscoll losing it. There's going to be a jump ball called. The question is, who has the ball?
It stays with the Rams, it looks like.
And it will. Donaldson to inbound. As Emma Gibbons, who had a strong start to the first quarter, looks to check back in alongside the junior Anna Barnard.
So we still got 5 minutes left to play in this half, and Bassick is just one foul away from the 1-and-1 bonus.
Yep, New Canaan already 6 fouls, 1 foul away from the bonus. Megan Driscoll also checking out. Give and go to Donaldson. Good shot contest from Woolcock and another rebound for Rogers.
Davidson's going to try to go to that lane, and there she goes.
She is fouled, though, and it is on Donaldson, her second. As she will get herself back to the line. Davidson, that is. And now both of New Canaan's wings, Quinn McKiernan with 3 and Maddie Donaldson with 2, already starting to rack up those fouls.
Yeah, here comes Cameron Murphy, probably going to sub in for Maddie Donaldson here.
Emery Davidson, her first, and she splashes it in. And that's exactly what New Canaan does. Murphy for Donaldson, that is, on the exchange. Back to a 1-point game with a chance to tie it up here.
Yeah, so Bassick's been running this 2-3 zone, and I think Cameron Murphy's more used to playing that high post, and now she's going to have to play more on the wing, on the perimeter.
She makes both with ease, continuing to perform, especially in transition.
Yeah, so Murphy's going to set up on the wing, and Olivia West and Gibbons are going to rotate in and out of that high post.
Barnard to Gibbons in the corner. Klosker. High post look for Cameron Murphy. Takes her step, shoots, missing. Rebound almost to Murphy. Rogers hits the floor, and turnover Bassick as Gibbons rips it away from Davidson.
Yeah, Kloster's going to look to slow it down here.
Swinging it around the perimeter now as Barnard finds Gibbons again in a corner. Looking for that high post look for Murphy. Takes her shot again, missing again. Rebound goes to Nate Campbell. Rogers flipping it to Davidson. And back to her here. Deep 3. Davidson has one. Make it 2. Davidson showing off the range.
That was Rogers, Ian. That was Cache Rogers with the deep 3.
She's got me so confused in this game, Maddox. There are a few players in the FC Act that can make those kinds of shots.
Yeah, it looked like Gibbons actually traveled there, but the refs are not going to give Bassick the call. They will get the possession arrow, however, on the jump ball.
Sophia Rambuya checks into the game for the first time tonight for New Canaan. Checking out is the senior captain, Olivia West. And as Maddox properly corrected me on, Cache Rogers making that last deep 3 to make the lead 3 for Bassick. Breaking the tied game. She already has 2 triples. And they get it back to her here, and Klosker respecting that shot.
New Canaan in a 2-3 zone to stop the dribble drive.
Davidson back out to Rogers as she directs traffic off the ball. Stepping it back here. Klosker still on her. Rogers back out near the logo.
It is hard to run ISO ball against this 2-3.
Corner 3 off the rim. Rogers losing the ball, and it heads in New Canaan possession. The miss on that one from number 15, Tiani Perez, the 5'2" sophomore guard.
So we're about a quarter and a half into this game, and both Davidson and Cache Rogers have not left the game. I would think if I'm Kim Palmer, I'd run the press to really try to tire the Bassick backcourt and, make them wear out by the end of this game.
I'm pretty sure no other Bassick player has scored outside of those two, Maddox, as the ball will head the other way.
Yeah, this is their first game of the season, and you got to think they don't quite have their game legs just yet. So I wouldn't be surprised if New Canaan runs a lot of press to try to tire out the backcourt.
They are relying on that backcourt tandem of Davidson and Rogers. Mass break of the second quarter with 3:09 left to go. 23-20, Bassick in the lead, and all of their points scored by their backcourt. The two players who, as Maddox mentioned, have not checked out of this game yet, and for good reason.
It's hard to sub them out when they've been your entire offense so far.
Capitalizing on every fast break possession, canning in perimeter shots, showing off a handle that few players in this league have. They've been doing it all. Yeah,
they're both two very skilled players, and they're going to continue to attack the basket.
It's a shame that we weren't able to see them earlier on in the season for, well, this is already a shortened season as it is, 20 games to 12 games. But they're only going to probably play 7 to 10 most likely.
Yeah, let's see if Bassick has a better game plan now against this 2-3.
3 minutes left to go in this second quarter. Ian Nicholas, Maddox, Underwood, and the rest of the NCTV crew bringing you this live action as Rogers scans. Finds Davidson. Open 3, looking to bank it in. Can't get it to go down. Murphy with the rebound. And Klosker on the move.
Yeah, I think if New Canaan's pretty patient, they're going to get the look they want against this 2-3.
Murphy.
Bassick actually now in a 3-2 zone.
Captain Ronsky checking into the game for New Canaan as Rambuya turns it over off the Rogers steal.
Yeah, Ronsky and Rambuya don't get a ton of minutes, but because of the foul trouble, they're going to get a lot of playing time too.
Murphy with the strip. Plosker on the move once again. And she's stripped by Rogers. Davidson in the moving transition. Behind the back, off the backboard and in.
Yeah, really well played there by Rogers to poke it out and then Davidson to push in transition.
Another superstar finish from Emery Davidson. Barnard getting it over to Plosker. Lead up to 5 for Bassick. New Canaan starting the stall. Bounce pass to Rambuya, and she's fouled. Actually, a jump ball created by Cache Rogers, and it's still New Canaan ball.
So you got to think that was probably the first time that combination of players were in the game for New Canaan. Just one starter was in Plosker after Barnard checks out.
And Driscoll checks in. Over to Captain Ronsky, Plosker. Driscoll on the wing. Driscoll looking for something, finds Rambuya in the post. Ronsky flips it up. Rambuya with the second chance, also can't make it, and the ball going to Bassick. Lucia Cravado is going to check back into this game as well. And subbing out is Rambuya after her miss.
Yeah, New Canaan back in their press. I think they probably should have been doing this earlier, but here we go.
Davidson avoids the trap with super speed. Now it's going to meet Cravado. Bounce pass is going to pay off with an assist to Tiani Perez. Her first bucket, and the first bucket for this Bassick team. It doesn't come from somebody named Davidson or Rogers. Murphy swatted out of bounds, still New Canaan ball.
Yeah, that's a risky run when you do the press. You can that can lead to Bassick getting a lot of transition.
And especially for a Bassick team that's already proven through the first half of this game that they are excellent in transition.
Yeah, Bassick has a lot of confident ball handlers, so they might actually handle this New Canaan press pretty well.
Driscoll finds an open. Captain Ronsky shoots her shot, gets the roll. Her first bucket for number 22.
Yeah, Ronsky's going to play a lot of good defense, and she's going to make some shots coming off the bench.
5-point game. Bassick still in the driver's seat. They have clearly built momentum here. Rogers out to Tiani Perez. Never really got her hands on the ball as she misses the jumper. A bit of a rush shot there from Perez. 56 seconds left to go in half number 1. Ronsky to Driscoll, now Plosker. High post look for Ronsky, getting it to Cravado. Great assist, sophomore to sophomore connection.
Yeah, New Canaan's finally starting to knock down some mid-range shots, and Bassick's going to elect to take a timeout here to set up for probably their last possession.
New Canaan going on a bit of a run here, closing the gap from 5 to 3, 27 to 24. Bassick still in the lead as Coach Roderick decides to call his team over and get his group reset with 40.5 seconds left to go in half number 1, and what is turning out to be really a surprisingly great game here from New Canaan High.
Yeah, a couple of good shots there from the sophomores coming off the bench, and Cravado and Ronsky.
Ronsky facilitating the ball well. Big first half for Lucia Cravado. She's been at the right place at the right time, getting some really good looks under the hoop.
Yeah, I expect Cravado to be a big part of this game, stopping Bassick in the paint.
Driscoll, Murphy, Plosker, Ronsky, and Cravado make up the lineup for New Canaan, which features 3 of their starters from this game.
Canaan back in the press. They're going to try to trap this corner.
Pass risky from Rogers to Davidson. Working on Cravado, pushing her to the floor. No offensive foul, just an offensive bucket for her.
And you do not see Lucia Cravado on the ground very much, and that was a smaller guard than Emery Davidson pushing the contact.
Plosker to her left, and reach in called on Davidson. Bassick's 3rd foul of the half. They have been a very disciplined team compared to New Canaan, who has 8 fouls. New Canaan looking to bring it closer than a 5-point game, and they don't off the miss from Murphy. Rebound Ronsky. Shot from Cravado from the free throw line. It goes down.
Bassick's got 10 seconds here. Look for them to push it.
And they push it oh so well. What can Davidson do working on Driscoll? 3 seconds left. She's going to have to put up the heave, and she's fouled.
No, she stepped out of bounds there, Ian.
That's why people were celebrating and I wasn't.
Oh, Ian. Little half-court heave here, probably.
With a whopping 0.3 seconds left, that seems to be the only item on the menu. Driscoll airballing the heave. It was a three-point game at the end of the first quarter. It's a three-point game after the end of two. 29-26 your score. Bassick with the lead, looking to upset the New Canaan Rams and the Lions' first game of the season. And really, we could do all the analyzing we want, Maddox, but 27 of your 29 points have come from two players. That's the reason why you're winning a game.
Yeah, it's been push and transition with Davidson and Rogers, and it's been working really well. They've forced McKiernan, and I think Bravado's picked up a few fouls now at this point, so it's been working well for the Lions.
So what do you do in the second half? Do you play Quinn McKiernan like she has 0 fouls, or do you continue to try to limit her minutes to try to keep her on the floor?
Well, you got to be smart with her. You can't throw her in there right away, and if she picks up a fourth, then she's probably only good for like the last 4 or 5 minutes, so we'll see how the Rams do.
We'll see if this game comes down to the closing stages. It certainly looks like it will. Before we head to those closing stages and head to that second half, let's look at our sponsors who make these live streams possible. And there's the video. Let's roll it. Let's thank our platinum sponsor first and foremost, Walter Stewart's, which has supported NC Rams athletics in the entire New Canaan community for years. Walter Stewart's is your fresh local market. Our gold sponsor, Club Sandwich. Club Sandwich is New Canaan's destination for fresh sandwiches since 1986. Our silver sponsors, Performance PT, Educational Futures, the SIG Insurance Agencies, OSSM Orthopedic Surgery and Sports Medicine, Renaissance Partners, and our last silver sponsor, Rand Insurance. And lastly, our black sponsors, Ready Rooster, Shilala, 84 Sports New Canaan, the New Canaan Diner, NC Graphics, the Athletic Shoe Factory, Togs, Dr. Austin Feeney, the Lewis School of Driving, and Pruitt & Company Custom Builders. The NC Rams All Sports Booster Club supports all New Canaan High School athletics. Bassick, a 3-point lead after the first half, 29-26, and the NCTV crew will be right here to show you how this game pans out in 6 minutes and 40 seconds. Make sure to tune in. TV crew bringing you this live action here from New Canaan High, and what has turned out to be an excellent game. Bassick's first on the year, New Canaan's sixth, looking to pick up their third straight win. 29-26 your score. Bassick in the lead, and it is all because of number 11 with 11, Cache Rogers, and number 16, Miss Davidson, who has been on fire, especially with that handle of hers, which really has been unbeaten on this floor so far this year. She can handle the rock like few.
Yeah, Bassick plays a lot different style of play than the other FCAC teams do, and I think it's made New Canaan a little bit uncomfortable. They play a lot faster, and it's given the Rams some trouble.
Let's see if New Canaan, with Quinn McKiernan in foul trouble, they're going to turn to her here to start the second half, despite her already having 3 fouls, as we are back on the floor for this second half of action. Cache Rogers with 11 points so far surveys the floor. Getting it over to Davidson. High pass to Rogers.
Yeah, Bassick drew something up in the halftime. They're playing this 2-3 much differently.
Driscoll on Davidson, now over to Campbell. And back over to Davidson. Rogers jabs, moves to her left. Nothing developing so far in the first possession of the second half. Here's the turnaround look for number 5, Samaya Wilcox. She misses. Offensive board, Bassick.
Yeah, it looks like Wilcox going to be playing in that high post.
Rogers faking out everybody. Can't get the finish to go down. The putback no good either. And New Canaan finally gets the ball to start the second half a minute in.
Yeah, McKiernan is back into this game with 3 fouls.
Murphy to Gibbons. Excellent pass in transition, and Gibbons quietly continues to rack up the points.
And Coach Kim Palmer is going to call off the press.
What do you think of that choice with their team still down 1?
Well, I don't hate the decision because it was going to be Quinn McKiernan going to be making all the traps down low, and with 3 fouls, that's pretty risky.
McKiernan with the deflection. Driscoll in the paint. Pull-up shot. Left wide open, and you shouldn't do that with her. A great shooter she is.
Yep, and Rams retake the lead.
30-29 on a 5-0 run. Excuse me, a 4-0 run to start the second half. 6:16 left to go in the third quarter. As Campbell getting it to Davidson. She fakes the shot, takes the hop step, can't float it in. Rebound, Bassick. Players hitting the floor, and a jump ball. Noah travel. And it's going to be New Canaan ball.
Davidson has just been living in that New Canaan paint. She's a guard, which is weird to say. She's just been driving and continues to put up floaters and layups.
In the teeth of the defense, she has been at it all night. Not working out for her there, but travel
No, we're going to get a technical foul here.
Technical foul was called, so McKiernan heads to the line.
Not quite sure who it was on, however.
We haven't gotten an announcement about that yet, but McKiernan back in the game after 3 fouls in the first half, and she capitalizes off the technical words, the technical foul. Extending the lead to 2, and now to 3.
Yeah, that's huge. Buchanan's going to get 2 points right there, and they're also going to have the ball.
Off the Bassick travel. Plosker to inbound on the far sideline. She's been held scoreless so far. Swatted away by Davidson. The breakaway train is loose, and she scores. 18 points for her now.
Yeah, Davidson might just be the best finisher in the FCAC. I don't think she's missed a layup today.
Wide open, Gibbons met at the hoop, and a foul is called on Campbell.
Yeah, good challenge there by Campbell. If you're going to foul, at least make sure it doesn't go in.
Passing foul number 14, Nate Campbell, her first.
That is her first foul for the freshman.
And McGibbon shoots 2.
Again, this was the Bassick team that only lost 2 players last year due to graduation, but also lost their head coach to retirement, as Gibbons will get 2 shots from the line. Making her first, Gibbons will be heading to Bowden next year to continue her athletic career, not in the sport of basketball, but in track and field. As she makes her first and looks to extend the lead to 3 here. She will not. Rebound Rogers. As she'll slow down the tempo here and try to create something for herself.
Yeah, it looks like New Canaan's playing man now.
Corner 3 for Davidson. Offline of a right rebound, Murphy. McKiernan walking it up. Driscoll down low, Gibbons, turnaround shot, her classic shot. And like all the great tunes, it always pays off.
Yeah. New Canaan actually staying in that 2-3, but they're actually going to pressure the ball now with the front 2 girls. So that's going to be Driscoll and Plosker. They're not going to let Rogers take any more deep threes.
Rogers traveling as she met Quinn McKiernan and couldn't put the ball on the floor. And another turnover for Bassick, a slow start for them to start this third quarter, being outscored 9-2.
Bassick still in that 2-3 zone. Driscoll open look.
Now almost 12-2, but Driscoll can't convert on the 3. Rogers on the other end, getting by Plosker, makes her move, and an and 1. Unless they're going to call it a foul on the floor.
No, it looks to be an and 1. I don't think Emma Gibbons likes that call because she was straight up the whole way.
You can't foul Emma Gibbons. That's her first. Basket was good by Cache Rogers. 1 shot.
And again, masters of creating where there really is nothing in the paint. Working their way through traffic are Rogers and Davidson, as McKiernan secures the rebound off the miss from the line. McKiernan floating it up, can't float it in. Rebound the Bassick goes for...
It's going to be a blocking foul on Driscoll.
As Wilcox slow to work her way up. As it will be Bassick ball.
You can't foul Megan Driscoll, her second.
Megan Driscoll, her second foul of the game, as Josie Narcisse checking in and Campbell checking out. New Canaan up 2 after trailing 3 heading into the half. 4.5 minutes left to go in this high-flying third quarter. Ball over to Perez. Driscoll face guards her and gets the steal. But 2-on-1 here. Plosker in transition. Driscoll keeps it herself and can't get the layup in.
Now she's going to push it ahead to Rogers.
And an easy bucket for her. That a great late shot contest from Gibbons and McKiernan, but it doesn't matter. Cache Rogers converting. Poked loose by Rogers, and jump ball between Gibbons and Narcisse.
Mass break.
Our third mass break in 3 quarters, just over halfway down. A tied ball game once again, 35 apiece. New Canaan outscoring Bassick by 3 in this quarter to tie things right back up here from New Canaan High. Ian Nicholas, Maddox, Underwood, and NCTV bringing you this live coverage, our third girls basketball live stream in a week. It's been a very busy week for them, and they're looking to make it a perfect week and finish 3-0.
Yeah, definitely want to build some more momentum heading into Darien, which will be taking place tomorrow, I believe, at 12:30.
Yep, 12:30 on DAF Media on YouTube. You can find that live stream to see if the girls can continue their strong week up against their rival, the Blue Wave. And meanwhile, we will be right here at 3 o'clock where big Mr. Varsity, Mr. Brendan Tiscornia, returns to JV and returns to the booth.
Yeah,
and
5 seconds
second
to get the ball
violation.
in time.
New Canaan fouls on number 33, Emma Gibbons.
Oh.
Her second and the team's third.
Looked to be an off-ball foul. She used a little hook and pushed away the defender.
So now Gibbons and McKiernan, two of the senior captain stars of this squad, in foul trouble. Something to keep an eye on as Rogers sizes up Driscoll. Moves to her left. Can't get the tough finish to go down. Rebound Murphy. Getting it out to Plosker. Slashing on Rogers, and the reach-in is called on Cachet.
Yeah, both of these teams have picked up the pressure now, pressuring more in the half court and making it harder for the ball handler.
Rogers, her first and the team's third.
Bassick has done a good job staying out of foul trouble on the flip side of things. Rogers only now with 1 foul. Murphy looking. On the elbow, McKiernan back out to Murphy, and now Driscoll. Slashing to her left, sidestep 3, and she airballs. McKiernan looking to keep it inbound, and she can't, despite her great effort.
Yeah, Driscoll had that one game against Wilton where she hit 4 threes, but hasn't had much luck outside the perimeter since then.
She's gone a bit cold over her last 2. Game still tied, 3:13 left to go in the third. Rogers over to Emery Davidson.
So New Canaan's staying in the 2-3, but they're electing to pressure this Bassick team more.
The Lions looking to slow down the pace. Rogers working on Plosker. She's had a great start to this third quarter, although her team has not. Screen from Woolcock, kick out Davidson. She spins, looking to avoid being trapped. Steal from McKiernan, and she can't convert as she runs into the bench and almost takes down her teammate Anna Barnard.
Yeah, really good play there by McKiernan to cut off the pass.
Disaster avoided by Bassick and also avoided by the New Canaan bench.
And they're going to say it's actually New Canaan ball. I guess they thought it might have hit off of Rogers, but I don't think that happened.
Well, that's what they called it. Plosker over to Murphy, working to her right. Gibbons can't corral it. Gets it back and stolen by Davidson. Bassick ball, behind the back move to free herself up from McKiernan. And she draws Driscoll. Still a tied game as neither team has found much momentum offensively over the last few moments, and a timeout called by Coach Roderick, his first of the second half.
Yeah, I think this is just going to be a breather for Emery Davidson and Cachet Rogers. They look a little tired now in the half court because New Canaan's electing to pressure the ball more.
They have continued their persistent attack of the painted area, making tough look after tough look, but they've started to cool down over the last few moments. But on the other end, Maddox, so is New Canaan on the offensive end.
Yeah, they got a couple of good looks early, and since then, I don't think they've made a shot in the last 4 minutes.
2:15 left to go in this quarter. 29-26 was your score. Bassick was in the lead heading into the third. New Canaan has flipped the tide, but neither team has momentum now. The question is will the ISO ball of Bassick come back alive over these final 10 minutes and 15 seconds? Or will New Canaan stay out of foul trouble, which they've done a pretty solid job of so far through this third quarter, and pull away with their third straight win?
Yeah, McKiernan hasn't picked up another foul, which is huge, and she's really only played like 4 minutes in that first quarter, so she's really fresh, and look for her to play a lot this half.
All 5 starters still on the floor for New Canaan as Rogers looking to set up more fun on the inside. Another slow-moving possession off the timeout.
Bass getting a little more motion off ball now.
Woolcock finds Perez, hounded by Murphy, and Gibbons and stolen by Driscoll. Great play for New Canaan defensively. McKiernan in the corner, Plosker down low, turnaround for Gibbons, no good. Rebound Woolcock, and she's going to be fouled by Gibbons, her 4th. As Coach Kim Palmer is going to sub her out for Lucia Cravado.
Emma Gibbons, that's her 3rd.
A little bit of accidental contact there. Woolcock grabbing the rebound and Gibbons reaching in as she fell. Davidson takes her time, finds the elbow look, turnaround shot for Perez. Too strong off the backboard. And the rebound again going to Murphy, who's had rebound after rebound. McKiernan open 3 from the wing, and you cannot leave her open.
That's a huge shot there. Hopefully the Rams can capitalize off that and get some momentum.
Bassick looks to respond. In their slow-moving offense, Rogers almost daring Driscoll to jump, makes her move. Shot denied by McKiernan. Rebound, Rogers under the hoop. She can't get it to go as she looks for the foul. And McKiernan looks to slow it down, getting it over to Natalie Plosker.
Yeah, this has been a huge change in style here from Bassick. The first 2 quarters, they were running all up and down the court, and now they've elected to take it very slow offensively, and I think that can be due to Rogers and Davidson being a little tired.
That bucket from Driscoll won't count. Foul was called on the floor, and the refs did not give her a continuation. The foul was called on Narcisse, her 1st. Inbound to Cravado, makes her move and missing. Ball popped up in the air. New Canaan gets it back. Murphy heaves it up. Batted by McKiernan, and it's heading the other way.
Yeah, that's going to be McKiernan's 4th foul, so she's going to come out of the game with 33 seconds left in this quarter.
And she will check out for the senior captain, Olivia West.
New Canaan fouls on number 21, Quinn McKiernan. That's her 4th, team's 5th.
Meanwhile, Nate Campbell will check in for Josie Narcisse. New Canaan with a 3-point lead, a strong 3rd quarter following an up and down first half of the Rams. And Bassick starting to show those signs of fatigue. Rogers inside, great move, maybe a little too good a travel. As she tried to argue that was a classic Euro step finish. Maddox, what did you think?
I thought it looked good to me, but the ref argues with Rogers. Rogers did not like the call, and ref pointed out that she took too many, but I'm not sure if she did.
Wide open shot for Cravado. She has been excellent so far today. 10 seconds left to go in the quarter, and New Canaan's lead up to 5. Rogers dancing with Driscoll, working to her right, runs into a defender, and gets it to go down.
Yeah,
and it's going to be called a charge.
That's been the call New Canaan's been looking for all day, and they finally get it here with just a second left in the 3rd quarter.
Lucky break for the Rams. Rogers not scoring, turning over on back-to-back possessions, and 1.4 seconds to work with. Into Plosker, half-court shot. Oh, just no good. Excellent 3rd quarter for the Rams, outscoring the Lions by 9 and taking this 5-point lead. Is it just the Bassick fatigue, which has been the big reason for this turnaround, or is it more?
I mean, it's certainly a factor. Bassick was rushing up the court and trying to take advantage of a numbers game earlier, and now they're setting up in the half court, taking their time, but they're still getting the same dribble drive and getting into the paint.
And a really big thing for New Canaan, Quinn McKiernan. We didn't see a lot of her in the first half because of those early fouls. She's come back, and she's played like her usual self
I think
in that 3rd quarter.
5 points in that quarter, including a huge 3 that kind of got some momentum going in the Rams' way.
And especially her play on the defensive end, that steal that she got the call for, and really overall, what would you say has been working so far for New Canaan defensively in this 2nd half?
Yeah, they're staying in that 2-3 zone, but they're showing a lot more pressure on the ball, and that's making Bassick pretty tired.
Yeah, I'd be tired if New Canaan was hounding me like that defensively, but I'm going to leave it up to the star backcourt of the Lions to try to solve their problems and come out of the 4th quarter with their first win on the year. Meanwhile, New Canaan looking to pick up win number 3 in a row and number 4 overall on the season. Let's return to the floor here to see how this one pans out. New Canaan with the 5-point lead, 40-35.
Basketball begin the 4th quarter.
Rogers to inbound. She had a strong third quarter, but ended it with a couple of bad turnovers on a travel and a charge. Over to Campbell. Ball turned over very loosely as Olivia West scoops it up. Driscoll lasering it into Cravato, and it will stay in New Canaan possession off of Davidson.
Yeah, New Canaan's going to set up their typical inbound play. They're going to have Cravato come over the top and look for the ball in that short corner there.
Cravato looking to get open, but Bassick tracks her down, inbounding it to West, and again off of the fingertips of Davidson.
Yeah, I'd like to see Megan Driscoll throw a pump fake and try to get it inside here.
She does not. Instead, on the elbow, or on the wing, you could say, to Murphy. She gets it to Megan Driscoll, and it's Cash Money from the corner.
Cash Money, Ian? Oh,
we got
boy.
Cachet on the floor. I had to bring it out.
Ian, you're too much.
No, Megan Driscoll is too much as she extends the lead to 8. Looking for the response was Davidson. She misses. Rebound West.
Yeah, look for that three to be a big confidence booster for Megan Driscoll.
Yeah, her first three-pointer made in the last 2 games. Turnaround shot from Cravato. Can't let it fall. Rebound Rogers. Looking to work her magic on the move. Sizes up Plosker. And she's lockstep with her.
Yeah, she's going to travel there. And Rogers really wanted the reach-in call there. And I can't blame her. I think she got hounded there by Plosker on the wing.
Coach Roderick frustrated with some of the calls here. And Maddox, you seem to agree with some of his frustrations, as his star guard can't get anything going because of those travel calls.
I mean, yeah, this Bassick play style does kind of rely on the refs giving them some calls because they're going to come right at you.
Ball batted by Davidson. Superstar defensive play. On the move, ball off of Driscoll. She pokes it loose. And the ball back in New Canaan's possession.
Yeah, Davidson just seems to be one step ahead. She's got about 5 steals on today.
6.5 minutes left to go in regulation. New Canaan almost extending the lead to 10. The floater missed by Driscoll. It stays in New Canaan possession.
You're going to say that was tipped out of bounds by... And who's number 14 again?
Number 14 is the great freshman, Nate Campbell.
Yeah, I thought that might have been out on Olivia West, but we'll see.
Driscoll can't get the inbound in, but Cravato saves it and is fouled as she fell by, I believe, number 5, Samaya Woolcock.
Bassick foul, Tiani Perez. That's her first.
Actually, it's going to be Tiani Perez. Bassick's 6th foul of the half.
Timeout.
And Coach Kim Palmer, with the 8-point lead, wants to make sure her team closes out with this win, so she calls for timeout.
Yeah.
Talk things over.
New Canaan just 1 foul away from getting to the bonus now, so that's pretty big here, coming down in the last 6 minutes.
Yeah, I've got to say, I've been at this for 3 years, and I've never had a coach talk to us in the middle of a game, and that is a first.
Yeah.
Coach Roderick calling some of the calls laughable. And, just another thing to check off the bucket list. As Coach Roderick is looking to check off a win here and try to get back in his game, is there any way right now, with the way Bassick is playing, that they can do that?
I mean, they're going to need some threes from Rogers, hopefully, but New Canaan's not going to let that happen. They've been pressuring a lot more.
Meanwhile, Bassick's upcoming schedule, we already know New Canaan plays Darien tomorrow. Bassick is going to be at McMahon tomorrow at 5:30, and then they have back-to-back home games up against St. Joe's next Tuesday and Danbury next Friday, but that Danbury game might not happen now because of a COVID problem there at Danbury High within their program. Ball batted out of bounds by Davidson, still New Canaan's possession. Plosker moves to her left. Cravato out to an open Megan Driscoll, looking to make him pay. Can't bank it in. Rebound Campbell. Poked loose by Donaldson. She keeps it inbounds. Great play from the sophomore.
Yeah. Coach Silvestri just loves that.
Hey, defensive coordinator. He likes defensive plays. Ball out of bounds. It will be New Canaan's.
Yeah, and I think Bassick's just thinking to themselves, we can't get a break right now. They're not getting any foul calls, and seems that every ball that goes out of bounds is off of them.
We're going to bring it back to the floor here. as Donaldson, the Cravado, looking to work it around the perimeter and take some time off the clock. Plosker to her left.
Good steal by Rogers.
Great play from her.
She's
knew
gonna
it
take
was
it
going to
herself.
Donaldson. She's loose, and she scores.
Yeah, she had a 3-on-1 there, but she just takes it herself.
She's just too fast and too talented when you let her get into the paint like that, one-on-one. Another steal. Excellent lead-away pass from Davidson. And now slowing it down as Davidson makes her cut, works inside, and she will not back down on Lucia Cravado. Timeout called. And it will be a New Canaan timeout as Coach Kim Palmer all smiles. And now she's rushing her team back to the huddle to try to get them regrouped back to a 4-point game.
I'm surprised because Emery Davidson's 5'4", but she hasn't gotten a shot blocked this game, and she's seemed to make it happen every time she gets into that paint.
She just knows how to get it done. Lucia Cravado, usually one of the best shot blockers New Canaan has to offer, and they can't alter her shot, and they can't alter Cache Rogers' shot at all when they get down low.
Yeah, I mean, Davidson goes right into contact, and she's strong and finishes.
They have finally been getting that fast break flowing once again. Coach Roderick looking to pick up his first win as the girls basketball coach at Bassick High School in his COVID-shortened season with Bassick High back in the FCIAC for the first time in years. Let's see if they can complete the comeback. 5:27 left to go in the fourth.
So I think Coach Roderick took that timeout to set up the Bassick press now with down by 4 with 5 minutes left to play.
It's going to be New Canaan's ball. Maddie Donaldson, the sophomore, will inbound. Bassick busting out the press, and it works to perfection. Stolen away by Wilcock. On the move. Cache Rogers falls to the floor, and she travels.
Oh, that's going to be
and bounces the ball in frustration. The anger really starting to mount now for this team. Quinn McKiernan checking in for Olivia West. The ball still isn't on the floor.
Yeah, frustration really mounting for this Bassick squad.
It's still just a 4-point game. Hopefully it doesn't boil over with still plenty of time to win. Another steal as Davidson comes up with it.
She traveled there. That time she did really travel, I think, but it's pretty tough here for Coach Roderick.
Well, the press was working, but the offense is not. Plosker trying to escape, gets it up to Donaldson. Stolen again by Rogers, looking for Cravado. Davidson gets her hands on it and is out of bounds.
So Bassick actually runs the exact same press that New Canaan runs. I believe they call it a diamond press, where they're going to let them inbound the ball and then trap in the corners.
And
it's a zone press.
It certainly worked for Bassick on these last 3 possessions. 3 straight turnovers, but no points to show for it.
Not that aggressive there. I think they're just going to play man-to-man.
Plosker finds Cravado. Gets someone jumping. Dishes it to Donaldson, and the assist for the big. Lead re-extended to 6 off the Maddie Donaldson bucket. She's put in some great minutes off the bench today.
Yeah, she really has, especially since McKiernan's been in that foul trouble.
And now both her and McKiernan are on the floor together making plays.
Yeah, they're playing the wings down low in the 2-3.
4:30 left to go in the quarter. Bassick trying to rally back from a 6-point deficit after they led by 3 heading into the half. Wilcock, jumper. Clanking off the back iron, rebound Donaldson.
It was a good-looking shot, just didn't fall.
And again, 37 of this team's 39 points have come from 2 players, Davidson and Rogers. Lucia Cravado, speaking of points, wide open from the right elbow. Cans it.
That's a big-time shot there by Cravado. They're up by 8 now with 4 minutes left to play, and that's huge, and especially in Connecticut when there's no shot clock.
Having one of her best offensive games of the season, as a blocking foul will be called on New Canaan's Maddie Donaldson.
New Canaan foul number 11, Maddie Donaldson. That's her 3rd.
Both teams have 6 fouls so far in the second half.
Samaya Wilcock shoots 2.
As Samaya Woolcock, that is, she will head to the line for the first time tonight. Bassick just looking to get back in this one. The calls have not gone their way so far in this fourth quarter and for much of this game. Missing her first off the front rim, but gets a second.
Yeah, I think Bassick's going to set right back up in that press if she makes this one.
Let's see if your predictions come true. She does make it. And before they could bust into that press, which it looks like they were setting up into, we're going to have our fourth and final mass break at the 3:49 mark in the fourth. Bassick still down 7.
Yeah, Bassick's going to really get after the New Canaan ball handlers, especially since we are in Connecticut and there is no shot clock. So they're going to try to force some turnovers and then push in transition like they've been doing all game.
That is the game plan for Coach Roderick and his young squad. Coach Palmer and Coach Silvestri preaching patience. They need to make the right decisions to stay in this one because we know Bassick can score in a hurry off turnovers.
Yeah, can't be too patient against the press because you only have, I believe it's 8 seconds to get it over half court.
Yep. Mass break concludes, 47-40. New Canaan looking to hold on. Inbound to Plosker. Gunning it up to Cravado. Good pass to Donaldson. Back to Cravado. Getting it to go down. Ball movement to perfection.
Yeah, the last 6 points are, there's 4 of them by Cravado, and then she had the assist on the other one.
She is making them pay, and Bassick really doesn't have a player that can match her size.
That's right. The only one who could is Rogers, but she plays too far out on the perimeter.
Rogers dancing with Plosker through traffic.
She's going to get the call there.
Yep, it's going to go against Cravado as Rogers putting her body on the line and drawing the contact. She'll head to the line for 2 shots, and New Canaan now in the bonus, or Bassick, I should say, now in the bonus as New Canaan hits 7 fouls. Still plenty of time to get back in the game, back to an 8-point game, 3:21 left. She makes both. Rogers, that is. An excellent game from her.
That was a very experienced play by McKiernan. Inbounds it right away so Bassick can't sit up in the press.
That's what happens when you have a multi-year starting senior captain making plays for your ball club. She makes for 3.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the dagger right there. Double-digit lead now with 3 minutes just left to play.
Bassick is going to have to turn up the tempo in this iso ball offense. Rogers, fadeaway jumper. Pretty look, no finish. Rebound, Driscoll. The lead, double digits for the first time tonight for New Canaan. And Coach Palmer elects to use a timeout with her team in a bit of trouble on the move. And it is a full timeout. Trying to preach the winning game plan to come away with their 3rd straight win. New Canaan hasn't had a start like this in quite some time. Again, Coach Palmer coming back to the program this year for the first time in 3 years, replacing John Winchester, who's the coach that originally replaced her at the start of the 2017-18 season. A coach, 2-time FCAC, Coach of the Year award winner, and Maddox, Coach Palmer's game plan tonight up against a team that she probably hasn't seen on film yet. It's been a pretty good one.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a halftime adjustments that really show. They were down by 3 at the half, and they were really playing the Bassick style of play, very fast, up and down kind of game. And it's been a lot slower pace, a lot more New Canaan style in this second half, and it's shown on the scoreboard too.
52-42 is what you would see if you were on a scoreboard here with New Canaan High. Heck, you could see it on our graphic down below. And a lead for New Canaan at 10 points that they did not have at the half when they trailed 3. And it's been an excellent, really an excellent half from them. McKiernan gets the open look. Her floater rolls out. Wilcock up to Rogers. Prosker racing back to get her. Deep 3 off to the right. Rebound, Cravado. McKiernan pushing the pace.
Yeah, she's going to just set it up here. No need to really push it now, up by 10 with 2 minutes.
And now Driscoll is going to bring this possession to a screeching halt and a reset. Plosker to Corrado. Foul line jumper. That's been her shot today. She can't get it to go down, but she gets on the ball, forces the jump ball, and gets the ball back. For the New Canaan Rams, that is.
I think they could have got a travel there on Cravado. She flipped sides there, which would be a travel. Bassick just not ready, and they get it right into Donaldson.
Donaldson with the bucket. Lead up to 12. New Canaan finally pulling away in the late stages. Rogers sizes up Plasker, gets inside, heaves it, missing off the glass.
And that's been huge, the New Canaan 2-3 zone. Once Rogers drives, she runs right into those walls of defenders down low.
Donaldson, full court pass, or I should say half court pass to McKiernan. Comes up short on the floater, can't get her own miss. Bassick basketball.
Oh, Ian.
A minute 30 left to go in this one, and New Canaan is looking to extend their record to 4-2, and it looks like they will. Although it's not a sealed deal yet, as Davidson works on Driscoll. She had an excellent first half, but after a couple buckets to start the third quarter, she's been awfully quiet. Another three from the logo.
Yeah, she's like the LaMelo Ball of the FCAC, Ian.
I love that comparison, really. And she has hit a couple of them.
Yeah.
Plasker makes her move to the hoop, and she draws the foul. A blocking foul, that is, on Bassick. And she'll head to the line.
Bassick foul on Josie Narcisse.
It's going to go on Josie Narcisse, who has come off the bench and picked up 4 fouls. Quiet night for Plasker scoring-wise, but again, one of the leaders of this Rams offense doing her job. With 57.2 seconds left in regulation, she misses her first.
In the second half, she's really drawn the assignment of guarding Rogers, and she's done a great job. So that's where her productions come from.
She's been able to walk, I guess, shuffle step for step with her in the half court. She goes 1 for 2, lead up to 13. And Bassick will head back to Bridgeport 0-1, completing their first game of the season, finally getting a chance to step on the floor. Good move from Davidson, puts up for 3, missing strong. Rebound McKiernan. Donaldson getting it to Driscoll and away from danger.
Yeah, that's not really Davidson's game. She likes to attack the ball, the hoop more. Not really settle for those deep threes.
Cravado stripped. Rogers again, a menace in transition and a wide open lay-in for her. Back to an 11-point game, but the deficit too strong for that bucket to make really any difference. McKiernan on the open 3 and showing sportsmanship as she could take that shot, but she will not.
Yeah, that's the experience right there.
New Canaan just going to avoid the turnover and
play a little bit of keep away here.
The win. She will get that last bucket, though.
Yeah.
Always love a good Pat Statter. Your final score, 57-44. Maddox, 3 straight games of 50-plus points for the New Canaan Rams offense, an offense that has looked fantastic.
Yeah, they've done a really good job on defensive end of the court, and they've pushed it well in transition on the offense when they've needed to, and they've settled it down and pumped the brakes when they've needed to.
And meanwhile, after 29 points in the first half, 27 of them from the star duo of Davidson and Rogers, only 15 points in the second half, and their defense, Bassick that is, really, it fell apart.
Yeah, New Canaan really wore them down with the second half pressure. They stayed in that 2-3 zone, but they pressured the ball, and they made it really hard for Rogers and Davidson to get to the hoop.
They really did. They made it a living nightmare, and New Canaan is starting to become a nightmare for FCAC teams. They've now won 3 straight games and are 4-2. They're going to play Darien on the road tomorrow at 12:30. You can find that game on DAF Media, and you can find our next live stream tomorrow as well, 3 o'clock, right here in the New Canaan High School gym. The boys basketball team will host Darien. I want to thank my crew before we head out of this one. I want to thank my cameraman, Joey Jacobson, my first-time producer, Cole Schubert. Congrats on the debut. Emily Fox, our advisor, Roman Cebulski, our athletic director, Jay Egan, and my color man, Maddox Underwood. And
I love you,
last
Ian.
time, let's roll to our sponsors. Going to thank our platinum sponsor, Walter Stewart's. Walter Stewart's has supported NC Rams athletics in the entire New Canaan community for years. Walter Stewart's is your fresh local market. Thank you, our gold sponsor, Club Sandwich. Club Sandwich is New Canaan's destination for fresh sandwiches since 1986. Our silver sponsors, Performance PT, Educational Futures, the SIG Insurance Agencies, OSSM Orthopedic Surgery and Sports Medicine, Rand Insurance, and Renaissance Partners. And finally, our black sponsors. Ready Rooster, Sheila La, 84 Sports New Canaan, the New Canaan Diner, NC Graphics, the Athletic Shoe Factory, Togs, Dr. Austin Feeney, the Lewis School of Driving, and Pruitt and Company Custom Builders. The NC Rams All Sports Booster Club supports all New Canaan high school athletics. New Canaan taking home the win, and they are now 4-2 as Bassick falls to 0-1 here in the New Canaan High School gym. 55-44 your final. Make sure to tune in tomorrow for New Canaan boys basketball up against Darien at 3, and at 5 next week up against Staples. The girls will play at home on Tuesday. We'll see you then.